Walk 2 Moons by Sharon Creech. Gramps says that I am a country girl at heart, and that is true. I have lived most of my 13 years in Banks, Kentucky, which is not much more than a caboodle of house roosting in a green spot along the Ohio River. Just over a year ago, my father plucked me up like a weed and took me and all of our belongings. No, that is not true. He did not bring the chestnut tree, the willow, the maple, the hayloft, or the swimming hole, which all belonged to me, and we drove 300 miles straight north and stopped in front of a house in Insled, Ohio. No trees, I said. This is where we're going to live. No, my father said, this is Margaret's house. The front door of the house opened, and a lady with wild red hair stood there. I looked up and down the street. The houses were all jammed together like a row of birdhouses. In front of each house was a tiny square of grass, and in front of that was a thin gray sidewalk running across a gray road. Where's the barn? I asked. The river, the swimming hole. Oh, Sal, my father said. Come on. There's Margaret. He waved to the lady at the door. We have to go back. I forgot something. The lady with the wild red hair opened the door and came into the porch. In the back of the closet, I said. Under the floorboards, I put something there, and I've got to have it. Don't be a goose. Come on and see Margaret. I don't want to see Margaret. I stood there looking around, and that's when I saw the face pressed up against an upstairs next door window. It was a round girl's face, and looked afraid. I didn't know but that face belonged to Phoebe Winterbottom, a girl who had a powerful imagination, who would become my friend, and who would have many peculiar things happen to her. Not long ago, when I was locked in a car with my grandparents for 6 days, I told them the story of Phoebe. And when I finished telling them, or maybe even as I was telling them, I realized that the story of Phoebe was like the plaster wall on our old house in Banks, Kentucky. My father started chipping away at a plaster wall in the living room of our house in Banks. Shortly after my mother left us one April morning, our house was an old farmhouse that my parents had been restoring room by room. Each night, as he waited to hear from my mother, he chipped away at the wall. On the night we got the bad news that she was not returning, he pounded and pounded on that door with a chisel and a hammer. At 2 o'clock in the morning, he came up to my room. I was not asleep. He led me downstairs and showed me what he had found. Hidden behind the wall was a brick fireplace. The reason that Phoebe's story reminds me of the plaster wall and a hidden fireplace is that beneath Phoebe's story was another one. Mine.